Hello everybody, it's Aaron from Go Grava Bicycles. We are at the 5th month of this brand new bicycle store being open in Reading, Pennsylvania. And I've been learning so much as we've been heading through what I think feels like a bicycle recession in 2024 that's really just been happening in 2023. And the things I'm noticing, so I'm going to talk about the things I'm noticing, some of the decisions I've made, and the things I've noticed. I'm going to back it up with what's being reported on Bicycle Retailer. Things I'm seeing, how we're adjusting to that, and then the decision I made on my first hire at the Go Grava store since August was a month of profit. So we have something to celebrate there in the month of August. We did make a profit for the month, not for the year. I'll be surprised if I make a profit for the first year of the bike store being open, but we did make a profit in August, which then allowed me to lean into hiring somebody part-time to help out with the store with very specific skills that I was looking for, because right now we are in the disruption phase of the cycling industry and have been in it for a while, because really things are kind of turning into more of a, less of a cycling industry kind of thing to more of a mobility industry kind of thing. That's what I'm seeing in the bike shop. So let's get to it. Let's talk about some of these things real quick. So as I'm kneeling down talking about these, next to these pivot bicycles and looking at mountain bikes and gravel bikes in particular, what we've seen with Bicycle Retailer is, I think Fox Factory put out that they had a 40% loss, or not a loss, but they're 40% down in sales. And what does that actually mean? Well, that means that the manufacturers are not buying as many shocks as they used to. The consumer is not buying as many shocks. And we're seeing a real decline in the mountain bike category. I have roughly 7 to 10 different styles of mountain bikes in my bike store, and I've sold very little. Actually, very, very, very little of mountain biking. And I do have interest in mountain biking in my area. Reading, Pennsylvania area is a great place to mountain bike. We have some great, fantastic trails, but not really moving that many mountain biking products in my area. Really what I've been doing with mountain biking is I've been rebuilding older bikes and doing rebuilds on shocks. That's kind of where we've been making our money. So it's interesting to see that even though I'm a new shop, and I know the trends may be different for an established shop, but being a new shop has a disadvantage of not knowing what previous year's sales have been, but it has an advantage that I'll talk about in a minute because I don't have any preconceived biases. So one of the other things we've seen from Bicycle Retailer is that Shimano's still down. They're still down every quarter with componentry and things like that. And that's kind of goes with the bicycle recession. And I'm not moving a whole lot of gravel bikes or hardtails or anything like that. I am moving trail bikes. So in my area, trail bikes are moving really well, but the gravel scene, kind of, not really. And yeah, just what I'm seeing from Bicycle Retailer about sales being down in certain segments actually backs up what I'm seeing in the store over the summer. So that leads to the next thing is, how did I make a profit in August with all of these sales being down? Okay, so we're out on the road, and how I made a profit is by leaning heavy into mobility, electric mobility. As you can see, we are now an e-bike Bosch certified retailer and repair station. Got our certifications with Bosch, which was fantastic to do, and we are now Fazua certified also, and we're going to keep going with these certifications because the one industry that's really still keeping up and still making gains is the e-bike, e-mobility industry. So that's what's really pushing us into these profit areas, is the e-mobility, and that's everything from e-scooters to e-bikes and things like that, and doing repair work that a lot of the other bike shops around me just aren't willing to do because they may not have the staff or the certifications or trainings to do those sort of things. And so when we get into the e-bike world and we're looking at e-bikes, and not just e-bikes here and servicing and repairing e-bikes, and not just talking about high-end e-bikes either that are $8,000 to $13,000 and very complex machinery in here, like this pivot, super top of the line, lightweight e-mountain bike with the Fazua Ride 60 motor. It's not just that. No, we're talking about massive changes and trends that we're seeing in mobility. So nobody within a 200-mile radius will actually work on an e-scooter tire for somebody who wants to take a traditional e-scooter tire and put on a hard tire. And the reason for that is because it is so damn difficult to put these hardened tires on e-scooters. We get the e-scooters in and all the rims are all dinged up and we got to file them down. And it actually takes 2 people to put on those full vulcanized rubber e-scooter tires onto these rims right here. But because of that, we have a lot of people who are being, or there's just an opportunity for e-scooters and e-bikes of a certain level to get maintenance. And because nobody does it, like, I'm charging whatever I want. It's because a lot of your traditional bike shops don't want to touch any of this stuff. So things are changing. The bicycle shop model in the industry is actually changing at the moment. But to understand how to run a bike shop and begin a bike shop in this disruption phase, I had to start a bike shop. I did put applications out in 2022 with many different bicycle manufacturers because I had this idea around software and firmware innovations that were possible in the e-bike realm, because I saw it was just getting really tremendously popular. And there are so many opportunities right now in the software side and firmware side to really bring some amazing products onto some amazing bikes. And that's where we're leaning. So we are a bicycle shop, but I'm really think of myself as a mobility store. So even though we have mountain bikes and we have gravel bikes and we have traditional trail bikes, we have folding bikes from Tern, we are a mobility service center and a mobility store. That's the kind of mindset I had to change to become profitable in 2024, as the bicycle industry as a whole is pretty much been in a recession for the last year and a half. How do we help those people that have mobility issues? Or not mobility issues, but yes, mobility issues, because I'm also working with I Am Able, which helps people who need more adaptive stuff like trikes, electric trikes and things like that. Maybe they have some issues with their their wheelchairs and things like that. And we are the bike service center for that organization in the Reading area. But not just mobility, but how do you help people that have bought all these e-bikes and e-scooters that can't get the tires fixed, they can't get the brakes changed and things like that. And that's what we're here for. So most of our profits have been coming from e-bike sales and service for bicycles, shock rebuilds on mountain bikes, upgrading components. I just recently upgraded Specialized Diverge with the SRAM rival ETAP system, and that individual went out and PR'd everything the very next day with their new ETAP system. So upgrading an existing bike is also a great way to get massive improvements on your segments and KOMs and things that you're chasing on Strava. So that leads me to the person we hired in the bike shop. So I did have a lot of very enthusiastic people come to me in the first 5 months looking for work, and who were previous bike mechanics and wanted to work in a bike shop, and they were all very qualified individuals. But I had to take my time before making a decision on who I was going to partner with, because I could say hiring somebody, but really I need kind of somebody that's just more than an employee, who's just more than ringing stuff up, who's more than just putting new chains on and stuff. I needed an individual that had some skills because of the industry, the changes we're seeing in the industry. I need somebody who is familiar with electrical engineering. I need somebody who's familiar with programming, coding. I needed somebody who maybe had some store management or retail experience or shop ownership experience. I need somebody who could 3D print, who had that skill also, because as we get in all these cheaper e-bikes and stuff, there is no solutions to fix them. And we have to, at least I think it's a good idea to provide people the opportunity to fix some things. Yeah, it's going to be very expensive, but maybe less expensive than buying a new e-bike. So we're looking at, when we hire somebody, not just a shop mechanic, but can they actually do other things like rewire circuits, solder? Can we also do bike mechanic work? Can we do really in-depth bike mechanic work? Do we know how a retail store environment works? Do we know how to integrate, move CSV files internally within the within our Shopify system? Do we know how to upload new products? Do we understand how online sales work and shipping and things like that? And I did find somebody who can do all of that part-time, and it's great because they're also a business owner, and their busy season's the winter, which is going to be my slow season. So yeah, this is kind of what I've seen and where we're leaning with our bicycle shop. It's more of a mobility shop, helping people get mobile and get outside. That is the fundamental three things that Go Grava does. Is Go Grava is one, we help people get outside no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's an e-bike, an e-scooter, a regular bicycle. It doesn't matter if it's a mountain bike, road bike, trail bike. Getting people outside and enjoying nature. That's our first priority. Then we move into our second priority, which is helping support small manufacturing in North and South America. That's the second thing we're looking at, is any way we can try to help those manufacturers in North and South America who are smaller, could kind of diversify and provide a bit of equity in the manufacturing structure, or at least what I put in my store and where that stuff is manufactured and where it's sourced. And number three is just being a benefit to our local community. Being a bicycle shop or a mobility shop that is out there for events, supporting events. So we have Michelle Gravel that we're going to be out supporting in September, and then we're going to do Barn Gravel, which is a local race, and just setting up a tent and an aid station through the bicycle route, and then looking for other avenues where we can support our local cycling communities and our local events. I think we got to break out of what happened during COVID, where nobody was out, and really just get a bike shop out there and present supporting the people. And there's all kinds of youth programs that can be supported that's really beneficial for the community and beneficial for my bicycle shop. So that's where we're at in 2024. Yes, are we in a bicycle recession? Yes. Is it absolutely horrible? No, you can still make a profit. I've had to do a tremendous amount of marketing, way more marketing spending than I thought I would need to do. You just don't open a bike shop and just magically people appear at your front door and buy things. There's a tremendous amount of marketing that you have to lean into, and you got to be very, very creative on how you do that, because you'll just blow all your money if you try to do it just straight on Google and Meta or billboards and things like that. I've had some great success in marketing. I have some great marketing success stories, things where I really spent my money and they just turned around and created a profit for me. I'll probably get into that later about how you as a bike shop could market in a more efficient manner on social media, or doing a really on the ground kind of effort, pushing out your bike store. And some of the things I've seen that a lot of bike shops could just really quickly and easily do. But I'll get into that at a later date. But for now, super excited. We are Profit Zone in August, and we are doubling down on e-mobility, because that's what's going to get us through 2025. And then maybe in 2025, I think things are going to turn around. I mean, we may have some issues. There's some issues with the Chinese tariff taxes. That's going to raise prices on your basic stuff, or it's going to increase competition in Taiwan for manufacturing. Either way, baseline bike model prices are coming up in 2025. So again, I think if you're looking for a bicycle, this fall is your last chance to get something you really love, because I don't see anything like the manufacturers and the brands are going to be out of product. They're going to be out of product. They're going to trim down their staff, and they're going to sit on what they have, and they may even raise prices from there. There's no indications that I see that anybody's going to drop prices anymore past this. Even though the economy is stuttering and it's doing good in some areas, but not really good at all in other areas. There's no reason to see why anything's going to go down anymore. Like Canyon's probably on their last push for bike sales. They have massive bike sales right now, so I guarantee Canyon's not doing great either if they're trying to move stuff at 30% reduced prices right now and trying to move out all these products in the fall. Even though they've been posting, Canyon's been posting increase in sales and stuff, it is kind of interesting when you look at it, because I remember a year and a half ago or something, they posted everything in euro instead of dollars. But at that time, if you pay attention, they had a 30% increase in sales, but it was all reported in euro. But if you look at the euro to dollar conversion, or that carry trade, that was also a 30% difference, because the euro crashed almost down to $1 against the US dollar. And I remember I was in Germany, it was $1.33 to €1. So with a 30% crash, but then if you report in euro, you know, there's some finance mumbo jumbo you could do there to kind of show that you're making a profit, even though technically it's just converting those dollars from the USA into euros over in Europe may skew your books a bit and not tell the whole truth about what's going on. So yeah, that's it, everybody. I can't wait till to get through this fall. Fall's an exciting time for cycling. Even though it's getting cooler, it's a great time to get out. The leaves are changing in the north part of the United States. We get some great fall foliage that happens, and I love being out on the trails in the fall. And until I make my next video, I'll see you again.